TNA Bound for Glory results. Two legends retired. New TNA champion crowned and more. TNA Bound for Glory amped up the excitement, featuring 9 exhilarating matches that turned heads, delivering mat classics. TNA's latest PPV, Bound for Glory, was the most anticipated night for the fans, featuring the biggest matches and the biggest talents that the wrestling promotion brand has to offer. The event was all the more important as Mike Santana was going to fight tooth and nail to bring the TNA World Championship back, where it truly belongs, and every major title was put on the line to create a WWE crown jewel-like show, getting the fans excited as they watched the action-packed matches. The PLE was live exclusively from the Tsonga Center in Lowell, Massachusetts, and it was only about action. In the Countdown pre-show, the wrestling promotion brand honored Mickie James, inducting her to the TNA Hall of Fame. With that being said, here's what went down in tonight's show. The I-Inspiration retained the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team titles over the Elegance brand. The kickoff show of the night was a rather short one. The Elegance brand, Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance, was accompanied by Ash by Elegance for their match, and they did not waste any time going after the champions. They immediately isolated Cassie Lee of the I-Inspiration to set up a coast-to-coast dropkick by M. Lee created an opening and managed to give a hot tag to her partner, Jessie McKay, who was on fire, taking out both women of the Elegance brand. The turning point of the match came when Heather knocked out M, and Lee kicked Heather out of the squared circle to line up for the I-Idolizer on M to retain their tag team gold. Steve Maclin outperforms Frankie Kazarian to commence his championship reign. Steve Maclin did not waste time bringing the fight to Frankie Kazarian, delivering a jaw-dropping suicide dive during the champion's entrance and a sunset flip bomb from the ring apron to the floor as he taunted Maclin's mother, present in the audience. The match continued with both wrestlers playing dirty, borrowing moves from each other's arsenal. IT began with the challenger using the chicken wing submission on Kazarian, but he escaped it, countering him with a quick roll-up, and tried to use the rope to his advantage. However, the referee stopped the count, catching him using and taking an unfair advantage over Steve Maclin. Kazarian gave Angel's wings to Maclin, but it was good enough for a near count. Frustrated with not defeating Maclin already, he set him up for a spear, but the challenger dodged it, sending Kaz into the corner, and executed the same move successfully. He finished the segment, hitting him with a Kia DDT to become the new champion, and celebrated with his mother at the ringside. Tessa Blanchard utilized in-ring chaos to steal a win against Gia Miller. This match showcased the contrasting moral compasses between Tessa Blanchard and Gia Miller, where the former was fuming at Miller for trying to fight clean. Blanchard sent Miller outside to grind her face on the steel steps and then delivered a suplex on it. As the official was distracted with Tessa Blanchard, Victoria Crawford landed a couple of cheap shots on her, but the referee caught her and ordered her to go backstage. As she protested with the security, Jody Threat launched herself at the pile of security guards and chased her backstage. The focus went back inside the ring, with Miller starting an attack with a Thesz press, transitioning to a monkey flip and then a twisting crossbody. However, Blanchard went to a corner and removed one of the turnbuckle pads to smash her head into the exposed steel. Miller has had enough of her opponent's dirty tactics and lifted her up for a powerbomb out of the corner. However, Blanchard played it dirty, punching her with a roll of quarters and bagging the victory. Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth create history at the Gauntlet match. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet match was pure chaos, featuring rosters from both the men's and women's locker rooms of TNA, where the two talents will have a singles match after throwing all the remaining contestants outside the ring. After toppling 18 wrestlers, only Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth were the last two men standing inside the ring, squaring off against each other. Disaster unfolded when a referee bump took place, sending them outside the ring, but a backup referee was present. Kazarian delivered a superplex to the show-off, leading to both men locking each other into a cradle for the pin, and both referees counting for the two wrestlers. Since it was a double pin, Santino came out and created history by making both wrestlers double winners. Kalani Jordan retains her title in a one-of-a-kind style. Another quick women's championship match, immediately delivering the action with Jordan going for the offense and nearly taking Indy Hartwell away with a frog splash. The challenger tried to end things quickly with a Hertz donut, but was countered for a quick roll-up and kept the flow in her favor. She decided to take it to the top rope to deliver a flying elbow drop, but she missed wildly. Jordan blasted her with a kick to her face and finished her with a split-legged moonsault to retain the title. The system takes out Order 4 in head-turning 10-person intergender hardcore war. This match was the highlight of the show, featuring the system, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Johnny Dango Curtis, and Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, John Schuyler, Jason Hotch, and Agent Zero, with the latter having the men's advantage. The match was intense and violent, as Agent Zero slammed Alicia on Thumbtack. Check out the tweet below. Via X, Eddie Edwards checked on her, but left himself exposed to take a big boot to his face. Myers and Curtis beat up Agent Zero with kendo sticks, but it was futile. Zero left both men stunned with massive headbutts. But he was brought down with a vicious spear from Moose. Everyone was down, and Ollie decided to make the most out of it, pouring more tacks on Alicia and lining up for a 450 splash. However, she moved out of the way, with the former WWE superstar crashing wildly onto the tacks. Edwards wrapped barbed wire around his knee to hit Ollie with the Boston Knee Party and pinned him to end the match.